Oh!
The Lord of Seamen.
Oh! Now this episode, as you guys can tell, of Inyokishi is gonna be a little different. We're actually just gonna react to something, man.
Ew, come on, it's 16 seconds in, man! Come on! Watch the whole thing!
Welcome to the start of a new beginning. 2 to 3 weeks ago, I sat down and I watched this.
State of Play.
If you've watched it, you know what they show at the end.
God of War!
And when I tell you guys, God of War is probably one of my favorite game series, like just ever. And I want to play 2018 on the channel because I never played 2018, even though Ragnarok really did spoil a lot of 2018. God of War Laufey takes place in the Everywind.
Who?
It's where dead gods are. So I thought this idea where every now and then we can all come together and react to a god. It's not gonna be an everyday thing. Maybe like 4 gods a month, every Monday. Ooh, that could be good. Mythology Mondays. You said, what about Muscle Me Mondays? Who said that, bro? Y'all don't even know about that. This submission was by a chill ESR JR. He said Sobek, the Egyptian crocodile god explained. I'll leave the video down below. So without further ado, let's get into it.
The waterways of ancient Egypt teemed with crocodiles, an apex predator that can grow up.
Bro, the video just started, bro. It is nighttime for me and my head is hurting because I haven't ate all day. So, let me eat, all right? Thank you.
Nile crocodiles are ambush hunters. This
Let me
means
pause it real quick. I'm gonna try to keep the pausing to a minimum, but can y'all tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? No. It's like the snout, right?
Yes.
Or something like that. Like if the snout is long, it's an alligator, but if it's not, it's a crocodile or something, or is it vice versa? I don't know, bro. Let's just continue.
This means that they lie in wait, ready to snatch anything that strays too close. Some ancient Egyptian piloting a papyrus boat or bringing laundry to the riverbank had to be on constant lookout for crocodiles who might... Many ancient Egyptian stories include scenes in which a crocodile eats an unsympathetic character, and one of the most fearsome monsters in Egyptian mythology, Ammit, is an amalgam of Egypt's most dangerous animals, the hippo, the lion, and the crocodile. But the ancient Egyptians did not just fear crocodiles, they also worshipped them, especially in the form of the god Sobek. But why?
Okay, so Sobek is a crocodile.
You are made of stupid.
Why would they celebrate, even feed and care for the animal they feared most? And who is Sobek anyway? In this video, we'll consider the origins, beliefs, and practices surrounding Sobek in order to better understand why he was so important to ancient Egyptian religion.
Okay, so
along the way, we'll also explore questions of what makes a god powerful and how the ancient Egyptians reconciled the terrifying dangers of the natural world with their belief in the supremacy of the gods. You may have seen depictions of Sobek before. If you've ever seen an Egyptian god with the body of a human and the head of a crocodile, that's Sobek. He was the quintessential crocodile god of ancient Egypt. You might be tempted to ask, what was Sobek the god of? It's only natural to wonder since it's common for Egyptian gods to be described in this way. Geb is the god of the earth, Nut is the goddess of the sky, etc., etc. However, not all Egyptian deities can be defined in simplistic terms of a single domain. Sobek is one such example. In the places where he was worshipped, he was supreme, the giver of life in abundance, the bringer of the annual Nile flood, a source of protection from danger. His personality was not tied to a single characteristic, but included all of the benefits he provided to those who worshipped him. Now, if you really needed to define Sobek's personality in terms of a single characteristic, it would need to be the god of appetite. Just like real-life crocodiles, Sobek would eat nearly anything he could get a hold of. In the story of the murder of Osiris, the trickster god Seth cut up his brother's body and scattered the pieces throughout Egypt. Always hungry for anything edible that might float by, Sobek ate a piece of Osiris's body. He was punished for the crime by having his tongue cut out. The story serves as an...
What? You telling me this dude got punished because he just saw something swimming and he's filled with greed? So he just got punished by getting his tongue cut out? What? Bro, that's insane. Dude, y'all don't understand how much I love lore. I know half of y'all who see this is not gonna get no views, bro. Cause half of y'all are like, wait, what? He's not doing games right now? Okay, I'm not watching this. But bro, you gotta lock in. Learn something. Sit here and learn something, bro. You feel me? This is so cool to me.
Etiology, or mythical explanation, for the fact that crocodiles don't seem to have tongues. Well, technically, crocodiles do have tongues. Their tongues are held to the bottoms of the mouth by a membrane and don't move freely, so ancient observers thought they didn't have one at all. The story characterizes Sobek as unable to control his hunger. Not even the gods were safe while any part of them was within range of his jaws. Meanwhile, Sobek's sexual appetites were the stuff of legend. In various funerary texts, women and goddesses literally throw themselves at Sobek. He was so
Bro, y'all think Sobek is gonna be in Laufey? Because right now he's sounding kind of calm. Like, I'm really hoping one of these guys that we learn about are in the game, so I can say, yo, I know that god. We literally watched a video on him. That'd be so cool.
virile that women and goddesses literally throw themselves at Sobek.
And
he
goddesses?
was so virile that they simply could not resist him. One of his epithets is Neb Metu, the Lord of Semen. I would show the hieroglyph on screen, but it's explicit enough that I think YouTube would demonetize this video.
Yeah, hold on, wait. What he say? Because I don't know what that word means. We gotta look at that.
I would show one of his epithets is
epithets. One of his epithets. An epithet is a descriptive word or phrase that accompanies or replaces the name of a person, place, or thing to highlight a specific characteristic. Ooh. What would y'all say are some epithets of Inyokishi? Gamer. Gamer, for sure. What else? Big.
This is a title not many would want to ascribe to themselves today, but one which characterized Sobek to the ancient Egyptians as being especially masculine and powerful. He was also known as he who steals wives from their husbands, an epithet that almost seems to have been taken from modern meme culture. Generally, Sobek was associated with the natural world. He was responsible for the annual Nile flood, perhaps even the creator of the Nile itself. Naturally, it was assumed that his creative energies applied to procreation as well. In a sense, every crocodile in Egypt was a child of Sobek. And since there's a lot of crocodiles around, as anyone could see, he must have been very busy fathering them all. It's probably no accident that Sobek was associated with these two basic biological urges, food and... Aside from these appetites, his personality is something of a blank. Perhaps it could even be called reptilian. Unlike other Egyptian deities who have rich, human-like personal characteristics, Sobek was simple. He brought good things, such as abundant crops, but he mostly wanted to eat and make babies. And perhaps it was in this regard that he was a relatable god. Despite his terrifying appearance and aloof personality, many people can relate to these basic animal drives. The origins of Sobek are shrouded in mystery, but he probably...
This is what I want to see. I need all their lore, bro. I love lore from gods.
Dates to prehistoric times. Belief in Sobek originated in the area of the Fayum Oasis, a large inland lake west of the Nile Valley, which is fed by a branch of the river. The Fayum is an area of marshes and fertile farmland, cut off from the main course of river traffic along the Nile. Crocodiles were abundant there in ancient times, and the people there saw them as a symbol of the power of the natural world. As the chief god of a relatively isolated region, worship of Sobek probably flourished in local temples for centuries before his rise to prominence as a central god in the Egyptian pantheon. It may seem strange to us that the ancient Egyptians would focus so much devotion on a deadly animal whose crocodile children might be waiting in the shadows to kill and eat you at any moment, but this is actually well in line with other Egyptian beliefs. Several Egyptian gods were associated with potentially deadly animals. Sekhmet the lioness, Serket the...
Sekhmet, I know about Sekhmet. Sekhmet was in the trailer. Sekhmet was in the God of War Laufey trailer, and she, can I just say, bro, she looked good. She looked good. But it is crazy to me how they just made a god out of something that they thought was dangerous. So like that means that there's like a hippopotamus god, because something as dangerous as like a poison dart frog be a god. Like
Scorpion, Wadjet the snake, and Tawaret the hippo, just to name a few.
Tawaret.
The Egyptians believed that the deadliness of these creatures is what made them powerful. A dangerous creature can become a great ally when its aggression is redirected against your enemies. The Egyptians understood the interaction between power and danger. Anything with the power to do good might also cause harm, depending on the target of its power. Sobek fits perfectly within this understanding. As a representation of the natural world and basic biological drives, he embodied both the dangers and benefits of living in a hostile environment.
Right, because
by worshiping
he said not only does he, they said he's the one who made the Nile, what the He's the one who made the Nile River. He's the one who does like the annual flood. But then you also have the bad side where if a crocodile see you and you do something stupid, or you just go there thinking he's not gonna kill you because because you believe in Sobek, they're like, oh, Sobek, you got me, right? You're not finna kill me, right? Like, these are your child. Or you told him not to kill no believers? Yeah, nah, bro. Get freaking death rolled, buddy. Now your whole leg gone. We've all seen that video, bro. I feel like that's a canon event in most people's lives. You see that one video of that alligator just death rolling the other alligator's arm off, and then you just see the crocodile just sit there like oh,
What's been the way inside?
Him and making crocodiles into allies, the Egyptians could benefit from his powerful appetites, which they themselves shared. But the pursuit of these things can lead to danger. Understanding and addressing those dangers in the form of a god may have been a way of coping with them. The first preserved mention of Sobek comes from the pyramid texts, collections of magic spells and religious hymns carved on the inside of some pyramids,
That's so cool.
dating to the Old Kingdom. There, Sobek is identified as the son of Neet, a goddess of hunting from the Delta region.
okay, so the goddess of hunting, how did they like choose, and how does it become something where it's like, okay, this god, this god?
Since Sobek was known as a voracious predator, it makes sense that his mother would also be a skilled hunter. Like the
okay.
Fayoum, the Delta was a
what I
land of marshes and
but I don't wanna
greenery.
sound stupid.
The similarity of Neet and Sobek's native habitats might help to explain their familial connection in Egyptian mythology. The pyramid texts connect Sobek with the city of Shedyet for the first time. Shedyet, later known to the Greeks as Crocodilopolis or Crocodile City, was the urban heart of the Fayoum region and the center of worship for Sobek from a time before written evidence. In later times, worship of Sobek would spread to other parts of Egypt, especially the Delta and Kom Ombo in Upper Egypt. But his story begins in the Fayoum. During the Middle Kingdom, specifically the 12th dynasty, the capital of Egypt was located in Ichtawi, a city near the entrance to the Fayoum. The pharaohs of this period began the first of many state-run projects to increase the agricultural productivity of the Fayoum region. These projects were huge even by modern standards. They involved draining marshy areas to expand cropland and building up the urban infrastructure of the entire region.
I was about to say pyramids, but I don't think pyramids were on this side. I don't know, bro. Like I said, I never took a geography class. If you ask me where the pyramids exactly were, all I could say is Egypt. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack with you. I wouldn't know where. I wouldn't know where, bro. And I don't read many books, which is why I really want to start, bro. And this is a start. So cut me some slack. You feel me? Like, I really do want to learn though, because it's good to have little pockets of information that you could just pull from and just you know what I'm saying? It makes you look cool.
Large-scale land reclamation project, the pharaoh Amenemhat III built temples throughout the Fayoum that focused on the worship of local deities. The largest and grandest was in the city of Shedyet at the center of the Fayoum. There, Amenemhat built and expanded on earlier sites to create a huge temple to the Crocodile God, complete with a pool at the center for the children of Sobek. Ancient sources describe a massive crocodile.
Y'all know what that mean, right? Y'all know what the children of Sobek, so they made somewhere to worship Sobek. So imagine one day people find this and they go into an enclosed space and they see a crocodile, bro. And not just one, it's a children. If they see hundreds of crocodile in a building that's just full of water, that is terrifying. Oh, what's this place? Let me head up in there. Bro, this is so cool.
Living in the temple, adorned with crowns and necklaces. In other words, a living god. This pampered crocodile was probably raised from the egg to trust humans and not harm them. Instead, it dined on meat, bread, and beer every single day.
What?
The sort of rich food that very few humans could afford to eat themselves most of the time.
That's insane.
When the crocodile died, it was given a king's funeral. The crocodile itself was mummified and buried in a temple. Amenemhat also built a temple in the city of Jah, today known as Medinet Mahdi. The temple is ostensibly dedicated to Renenutet, a goddess of the harvest, sometimes considered the wife of Sobek, but it's her husband who gets most of the royal attention in the temple inscription.
Okay, this is starting to make sense now. She's the goddess of harvest, so of course she would get with somebody who reproduced and, you know, made the Nile that gives water to the earth and the plant. Bro, yeah, that makes so much sense.
Amenemhat also built a pyramid near the city of Shedyet at a place now called Hawara. The mortuary cult of the king was tightly connected to the temple at Shedyet and veneration of Sobek. This explosion of religious architecture shows how prominent Sobek was in the Fayum at this time. In order to build goodwill with the people, the Middle Kingdom pharaohs unapologetically made everything about Sobek. Pharaohs also strengthened their own ties to Sobek by emphasizing his connection to Horus, the god of kingship.
Y'all think if somebody in that village did something bad, they would feed them to the crocodiles? Probably, bro. That probably did happen. I could have been a pharaoh, bro, because that's a fire idea. Steal something, you getting fed to the crocodiles. Yeah, you ain't gonna sleep with the fishes, you gonna sleep with the crocodiles. Nah, bro, that's good.
In texts from the Middle Kingdom onward, Sobek is identified as Horus in the Fayum. The idea seems to be that Horus, upon entering the Fayum, took on the form of Sobek, as though they were a single god in different guises. So this is some clever theological maneuvering.
Wait, what?
All of the worship of Sobek, which had been going on for millennia, also supported the king and royal government. The people of the Fayum thus became diehard royalists simply by doing something they've always done: worshipping the crocodile. And their support had earthly rewards. As a result of royal attention, the Fayum prospered. During this time, a relationship was established between Sobek and Re, which also
bro, I didn't know that Sobek was this crazy, bro. I've never heard of I've heard of him before, but not like how I heard of Ra. I've heard of Ra before. The sun god?
Him to Horus through Re Harakti, whose name means Re, Horus of the horizon. Not only was Sobek associated with the Nile, its annual flood, the agricultural wealth of the Fayum, and the king himself, now he even caused the sun to rise in the morning.
What?
His fame had reached a new height. Never again would Sobek be a regional crocodile god. He had become one of the greatest gods of Egypt. The special attention paid to Sobek during the Middle Kingdom made him a national celebrity. But the decline in royal attention after the end of the 12th dynasty caused his popularity to wane slightly in the following centuries. Nevertheless, he remained a central part of the Egyptian pantheon. Books of the dead dating to the New Kingdom call upon Sobek to fight on behalf of the dead and the afterlife. Votive texts from the area of Thebes address Sobek directly, calling him beautiful and beneficial, and asking him to intercede for the living and the dead. During the Ptolemaic period, developing the Fayum once again became a central project of the state. Land grants to Greek mercenaries who served the Ptolemies meant that many non-Egyptian people were moving into the Fayum, and it became necessary to shore up the region's traditional culture in order to maintain public order. The temple complex at Shedyet, now called Crocodilopolis.
These people were literally taking over territory, and we're like, the only way we can keep these people from revolting is if we inhabit their culture, and if we just praise this god that we probably don't even believe in, but we have to say we do publicly, or else there might be a revolt. There's no con to not believing in this god when all you have to do is just worship them, and now you have the fame, now you have the power. That is insane, bro. Just the idea of a god like Sobek was able to make all of these people powerful just because they believed. That is the beauty of having a religion. Because you believe, you gain power in your own right, and everybody gains power in their own way, which is so cool to me, bro.
Was expanded and new cities were built on the Greek model. Sobek once again rose to national prominence.
So he had
Worship
two
of the crocodile
peaks.
at Kom Ombo in Upper Egypt reached its height during this time. The temple itself was a grand building project, which
Dude had
overtly
two
united
primes.
Sobek and Horus under one roof.
I
A
gotta
double
go
temple
here, bro.
both
This
to
is so
Horus and
cool.
Sobek. Here, mummification of crocodiles became a major industry. Here are two giant specimens on display at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. Private citizens could offer crocodile mummies to Sobek in exchange for his help in life. In order to meet the demand, thousands of crocodiles were raised in captivity and even hunted in the wild. Even after he became connected with the king and the royal court, Sobek remained accessible to people from all walks of life. Texts from the Middle Kingdom throughout Egypt revealed that common people prayed to Sobek for aid and protection. One prayer from the late period has fishermen calling out to Sobek for protection from crocodiles, saying, "Don't lift your face, you fish and crocodiles in the water, until Osiris has passed by you." The prayer is a clear reference to the story of Sobek eating part of Osiris, warning him of the punishment that awaits him if a crocodile eats the speaker of the spell, who
This is so intricate, I love it, bro. Earth lore is genuinely unmatched. Wait, Earth lore? This is the only lore we got. The prayers tie back into the stories of what the gods live. Now that might be telling, because I haven't read the Bible before. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack with y'all. I don't like to read. So that's probably just how it is. Like, you know, stories are told and scriptures and prayers are made out of them. I mean, that just makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. But it's just so cool how he intertwined it back into the beginning story. Y'all like this dude. You can get a like, bro. This is tough. I love this. Oh my, that's so sick. And then they put Osiris back into it, or else
who has identified himself as Osiris.
Osiris.
Today, the Nile crocodiles of Egypt are all but gone, surviving only in the man-made Lake Nasser after the construction of the Aswan High Dam in the 1960s. Although this dam conquered the age-old dangers of the yearly Nile floods, it trapped these ancient creatures from where they once roamed. Egyptians can now walk the banks of the Nile.
They used to just roam. It used to be flat surface, which is why it would flood. But they had to raise it up to stop the flooding. And now all of the what? Oh my gosh, I love this.
Without fear of being attacked by terrifying human-eating crocodiles.
Yeah.
But in antiquity, Sobek's children were everywhere, and their basic but relatable drives made Sobek a figure of veneration throughout Egyptian history.
Okay, so crocodiles are the one with the long nose.
On the national stage rose and fell with the changes in royal attention. He never ceased to be a source of comfort for his people.
Wow.
The terrible violence that crocodiles threatened was understood as one part of a dangerous natural environment, where animals could threaten a person's life and where uncontrollable natural events could mean feast or famine. Sobek was an ally to his people, who could bring his terrible power to the battle against life's uncertainties. Thanks to Wondrium for sponsoring today's video.
Good.
From the folks who brought you the Great Courses Plus,
that was so good. I love this. We're gonna have to do more, bro. Y'all saw how I geeked out, bro. I need more. I already see he has Horus. He probably got the sun god Ra. I know this was outside the norm, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed that. I loved coming together, geeking out with y'all, and just learning in general. I think education is very important, and I want to kind of bring that onto this channel. So if you guys like and enjoy that, make sure y'all spam that like button. I'll see you guys next time. Inyokishi, hey Drew. That was so good, bro. I love that so much.